Hello, it's my pleasure and privilege to welcome you on behalf of LinkedIn to Job Search Fundamentals Part 1. Thank you for joining us. I'm your presenter, Lindsay Pollock. First, we'll talk about getting noticed, enhancing your online image. Next, getting inside access, maximizing job seeker premium. Third, getting connected, leveraging and expanding your network. And fourth, getting opportunities, finding and landing your dream job. I'll be sharing a wide variety of tips, tactics, and strategies based on the successful job searches of a wide variety of professionals who have used LinkedIn to land their dream jobs. Now let's meet LinkedIn. There are a whole lot of incredibly diverse people on LinkedIn, all together in one place. You have representatives of Fortune 500 companies, nonprofits, arts organizations, government agencies, small businesses, recruiters, active job seekers, and passive job seekers. So no matter what profession, position, or location you want to work in, you'll find related people and opportunities on LinkedIn. First, we're going to spend some time talking about how LinkedIn can help you enhance your professional image, also known as your personal brand, which is an essential component of a successful job search. The reality today is that many important people, including recruiters and hiring managers, are checking you out online, especially now when companies are cutting their travel budgets and recruiters are using the web more than ever to find and vet candidates. According to a recent study from Microsoft, 70% of employers have rejected a candidate because of information they found about that person online. On the flip side, the same Microsoft study found that 85% of employers say that a positive online reputation influences their hiring decisions. Clearly, your internet image can make or break a job opportunity. So what better way to impress a recruiter than to have a professional networking profile be the first search result for your name? Many recruiters and hiring managers immediately look up job candidates on Google after receiving their resumes because they want to get a fuller picture of who the candidate is before deciding to contact that person. You can control what they find by building a strong and effective LinkedIn profile. Now I'm going to go into LinkedIn and do a live demo of a strong profile that's 100% complete. It's especially important to have a complete profile if you're looking for a job, because a complete profile shows that you're savvy with social media, that you have a professional network, and that you're able to communicate your skills and experience. So here we are on the profile of Frank Culler, who's a service desk supervisor at Pearson Canada. And I think he gives a great example of a complete professional LinkedIn profile. Here at the top, you can see he's got his title, which is the default headline on LinkedIn. In a few moments, we'll talk about strong LinkedIn headlines for job seekers. He's got a list of all of his past employment and education. And when you click on contact info, you can see that he also has two websites, one for his name that shows his professional resume and credentials, and one for a photography site, which is an interest of his. I've also seen people list the websites of companies where they've worked in the past to add to their credibility, or if you've worked for smaller organizations that people aren't familiar with, it can explain what those companies did. Frank has also customized his LinkedIn URL, linkedin.com/in, and then his last name. This is very important so that you can display your LinkedIn profile on places like your business cards, your email signature line, and your resume. Scrolling down, you can see that Frank has a nice, concise, keyword-rich summary that describes his skills, what he does, and the length of his experience. He's also listed some of his specialties to demonstrate even more examples of the skills that he could offer an employer. As we scroll through Frank's experience, you can see that it's very similar to a resume listing, but he's able to provide a lot more detail on LinkedIn. He's got strong action words at the beginning of each bullet point, and he's done a very good job of quantifying his experience whenever possible. Remember that all of your experience on LinkedIn has to be consistent with the dates and the titles and the company names and the locations of all of the things that you list on your resume. Remember the importance of keywords as you're putting information under each job description. Any brand names, any particular skills, certifications, qualifications are all really important to put in your LinkedIn summaries of each position that you've held, particularly as Frank does if you have a technical career. You can see that Frank has chosen to add some additional sections like coursework, and he's filled out additional skills and expertise to add even more keywords to his LinkedIn profile and languages and certifications to his profile. He's listed his education, and he's done a good job of collecting at least one recommendation for each job that he's listed on his LinkedIn profile. Finally, scrolling down to the bottom of Frank's LinkedIn profile, you can see his groups and associations. Remember that group memberships are not just about networking. They're also about personal branding. Frank has a career in the service desk industry, and you can see that he's chosen to join groups related to his job. He also has joined groups related to the IT profession in general, which could help him branch out if he looks for another career. And finally, at the bottom of Frank's profile, you can see that he's listed that he's open to career opportunities. If you're a job hunter, this is important because many recruiters choose only to look for people who have listed on their LinkedIn profiles that they're open to career opportunities. Going back into our presentation now, let's talk about how to develop a strong keyword-aware headline if you're a job seeker. Your professional headline is a prime keyword area on LinkedIn and for Google searches, and your choice of headline, of course, will depend on how openly you're job hunting. What I would recommend is looking at job postings for the positions that you want and matching your headline to those titles or important keywords in those listings. You can also look at people who have the exact positions you want and see how they present themselves on LinkedIn. So here are a couple of examples. For somebody who's interested in sales, a sales recruiter told me that he would be impressed by a headline like this first one, Client-Focused, Big Idea Salesperson. If you're a recent grad, you should include that status to let people know that you're an entry-level job seeker, but also put in the industry that you're looking for. Ideally, you have some experience in that field. So that leads to the second example, recent Ohio State honors grad and publishing intern. Third is a very specific job seeker headline, IT project manager seeking new opportunity. And the last example is for somebody who maybe isn't job hunting quite as openly, but wants to include a lot of keywords in the headline. Senior Public Relations and Internal Communications Executive. Another important element of a job seeker's profile, as you saw in Frank's LinkedIn profile, is to collect recommendations. These can also enhance the keywords on your profile when people talk about your specific skills and attributes, as well as your softer skills. Recruiters tell me that they're most impressed by LinkedIn recommendations that come from former managers or direct supervisors, people who've assessed you. Colleagues and friends are nice, but not as impactful. My rule of thumb when it comes to recommendations is to try to have at least one recommendation for each position listed on your LinkedIn profile. Quality matters more than quantity, so don't overdo it. Beyond the basics of your profile, be sure to take advantage of additional sections LinkedIn has added to enhance your profile and help you stand out from the crowd. You can add additional sections by clicking on Add Sections, which is highlighted just beneath the summary box at the top of your LinkedIn profile. Let's look at the most important section addition for job seekers. I recommend that all job seekers add your volunteer experience and causes to your LinkedIn profile. It's really important to show, particularly if you've been out of work, that you've been keeping your skills sharp. Employers also tell me that they like to see that people are involved in their communities. Just be sure to use professional terminology and mention your transferable skills when talking about your volunteer work, even though it was unpaid. Beyond this section, there are also sections to add certifications, publications, and many other differentiators to help you stand out from the crowd and add even more keywords and skills to your LinkedIn profile. Now, once you have this great profile, don't just wait and hope that people will find you. You have to drive people to your LinkedIn presence. One way to do this is by updating your status. Once you're connected to people, they'll see your status updates in their news feeds. So this means you have to be very strategic about what you post. Here are some examples that I think are strong status updates for job seekers. First, heading to the Chamber of Commerce networking event tonight. Show that you're actively out there networking and job hunting and that you're not just participating online. Next, reading about the new Starbucks online advertising campaign. Highly recommend this analysis. Including links to articles that you're reading or blog posts that you find interesting can show that you're keeping up with your industry knowledge while you're job hunting and also shares your expertise on the topics that you're looking for a job in. Finally, the occasional reminder that you're job hunting can be helpful, although you don't want to do this too frequently, maybe once a month or so. For example, seeking introductions to recruiters or opportunities in the online advertising field. Any referrals would be greatly appreciated. If you're uncomfortable posting a status update like this, then regularly send personalized notes to your connections, updating them on your job hunt and hopefully sparking their thinking on any opportunities they might know about.